Hello everyone, Danielle here from Learn Reiki Philadelphia. I hope you are doing well today. If you are new here, welcome in. If you're returning, welcome back. And if you're watching this on the replay, you're going to have just as much fun and healing a time as if you were here live. If you would like to join us live, go ahead and check out that description box below. Listed are all the days and times that you'll see me going live 5 times a week here on YouTube. You can also subscribe with notifications on, and that will let you know of all my additional streams that will pop up through the holidays and New Year as well. If you're new and either way, if you are here and you are live with me, go ahead and click that live chat button and feel free to request any special support or healing for anything that you might be going through and willing to share. We will start off by building a beautiful crystal grid to support the healing requests of everyone who is here. We'll go until about the 45-minute to an hour mark, depending on where we end, and we will then transition into a quick explanation of Reiki. And then I will turn the lights down, turn the music up, and send healing to you whenever and wherever you happen to be. If you are watching this on the replay, know that Reiki does go through space and time, so it doesn't matter where you are or when you are. And if you'd like to skip ahead just to the healing, just go ahead and slide the bar all the way over till you see the lights begin to shift, and you'll hear some beautiful Reiki music in the background, and you can just enjoy from wherever you happen to be. So thanks again for being here. You can also find links for my online Reiki classes, community, Discord, online social media, and everything else listed in the description below. But most of all, I'm so glad all of you are here. SS Ben, good to see you. So yeah, let's go ahead and dive into to our grid and start putting things together. Hello. Yes, it's so good to see you all. So I see that we've got Grace. I hope you're feeling better. Chris, Susan, Maria, good to see you. Vic L, good to see you. Isa, oh, hello to Mexico. Hello from Philadelphia. Let's see. Yeah, SS Ben, Bethany, I'm so glad to see all of you. Awesome. So let's go ahead and get some healing going on in here. The kitties are well. I am well. Kitties are a little shaken up. They tested our fire alarms, which is a very good thing, but not so fun if you're a cat. So they are currently still kind of cuddling under the bed. They've come out to say hi, but they're not having the best day. They'll be okay. Better to have working smoke alarms, certainly. So let's go ahead and see. We've got copper breaking up blockages, getting the optimal flow of energy going for us right in the center here. And we've got some beautiful things going on as far as requests. I did see a request for the writing group that I knew of. I think the one that I mentioned is Book Art Media. It's another YouTuber I follow who actually does live like political tarot every day too. But she has the Book Art Media they do online. I think at like 4 or 5 times a week, where they get on and they do like pomodoros together of creativity and just kind of share positive affirmations and cheer each other on. And so you can look for them on YouTube, Book Art Media. For the in-person group where I knew people that had like connections to the writing industry and stuff, was actually the Philadelphia, what was it called? The Philadelphia Death Cafe. That was where I ran into a lot of writers and editors and every other kind of everything. There's every kind of professional that hangs out in that group, and they're all pretty cool because they're all followers of like the Order of the Good Death, and they talk about everything from like spiritual to legal to philosophical to personal topics around death and dying. So yeah, they used to meet at the Barnes & Noble on Walnut Street. I don't know where they're meeting now because they closed that Barnes & Noble, but definitely a really awesome group. So I would check them out. So yeah. Okay. So now let's dive into some healing requests. Awesome. Okay. So I hope that helps. Let me know if there was something else. So healing intentions, your sister, Frank, yourself, low metabolism, breathing, smoking cessation, financial abundance, Kundalini awakening. Absolutely. So let me go ahead and pull a few of those. So I know for your sister, we're doing Amazonite, and I will walk us through the healing aspects of all of these crystals. We've got the aragonite with blue Caribbean calcite. We've got low metabolism and smoking cessation, so that's some unakite. Absolutely. And then a couple others that you requested. So let's start here. So unakite is a stone that can help. It really helps anything having to do with women's health, like anything, especially fertility, pre and post menopause, pre and post birth. Also with good relationships and metabolism, especially if metabolism is rooted in like a hormonal kind of thing. Additionally, this is excellent for helping with smoking cessation. So all the best to you as you quit smoking. I know it's not easy. I've done it. Not easy, not fun, but very, 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 very worth it. So there we go. We also have aragonite with blue Caribbean calcite. These are two types of calcite, and aragonite, the brown, is generally for balancing the root and earth star chakras, which have to do with vital needs, primal urges, fight or flight, and everything having to do with moving forward with your missions here in the world and getting things done and embracing your path forward. The blue has a lot to do with the upper chakras, sort of like your soul star chakra, your spiritual connection to your spiritual North Star and where you go next. The crown chakra, which has a lot to do with the interconnectedness of all things. So this is thought to help balance the upper and lower parts of the energy field, which ultimately helps to bring about the rise in Kundalini, the sacred energy that's coiled at the base of our spine, to come up the energy centers and help connect us with enlightenment. This can help to balance that flow of energy. And if we feel like we're being kind of hijacked by it or are kind of frightened of the feeling, this can help balance that out. It doesn't shut the experience down. It simply helps it to feel a little bit more balanced. Amazonite is a stone for caregivers. Whatever kind of caregiver you might be, whether it's part of your professional calling, like you're a nurse or a child care provider or something along those lines, or if you're just that person whose phone rings in the middle of the night when something happens, you're a caregiver either way. This helps caregivers and people who are more keen on showing up for others than thinking of themselves. This helps with developing self-respect, the knowledge and wisdom to get self-care, to take care of yourself, and the reminder that you are every bit as worthy of the care you give. So it can help with all of those. It's also thought to be really helpful for the spine and spinal nerves. And so things like sciatica, spinal stenosis, things along those lines, this can be really helpful. So that's Amazonite. Amazonite can come in darker greens, this sort of bluish color. A lot of times it's like a darker blue with white stripes. It can look a lot of different ways. But it's a very calming stone as well. Okay, good stuff. Okay, good. I'm glad those helped, Susan. And we've got Ametrine, Hematite, Peridot, Iolite. And if you're new here, you can request specific stones or just what your intention is, and I'm more than happy to pick the stones for you. It's up to you. Hematite is very, very grounding and purifying. It's one that was seen as, we see this actually written about in books that are written BC, like before Christ kind of things, especially right after death. This is a stone that was mentioned a lot. This is hematite. It was thought to be connected with the blood. It's got quite a bit of iron in it, so it looks red when it's cracked open. The ancient Greeks very much associated this with the blood and thought to clear the blood and cleanse the blood. I feel like this can really help us to connect with the earth and release energy that no longer serves us in a very gentle way, to be recycled by the earth. But in general, if you are struggling with feeling like you need to ground, like say you meditate and things like that, and afterwards it's like it's hard to get back into the earthbound swing of things, this can be a really helpful stone. Awesome. Iolite is helpful for weight loss if that's your intention, but I know this is one that Cora Carr's been working with quite a while. This is one that can help you with any kind of visionary meditation or shamanic journey work when you're working with your spirit guidance in a way that involves like visualizing them or seeing them especially. But it's definitely one that helps to open up the intuition, but also if you're struggling with maybe bringing that intuition type stuff down to a close before you go to bed. Like if you're having sleep disturbances because of intuitive things, this can be a really helpful stone. It's also great for things like fever and money management too. So it's a stone that does a lot. So as such, we often use this stone. This stone appears in more of our grids than not. And we also have some peridot. Peridot helps us to break up bad habits and limiting beliefs too, but also just old patterns. For example, we tend to, when we really look at ourselves and see like, wow, I keep repeating these same sorts of relationship patterns, it can be really hard to say, oh, okay, now how do I break that? How do I not keep having the same issue happen? Peridot can be really helpful. It's also a stone that's very much linked with friendship. So if you're looking for friends and like a social group around your new way of behaving, your new way outside of that old behavior pattern, this can be a really helpful stone. So when we use this, we usually just kind of sprinkle it through the our crystal here. There we go. Awesome. And we've also got requests for blue kyanite, aqua aura, herkimer. Herkimer is definitely one that I think of a lot for Susan and Greg for sure. And sapphire. Sapphire is a great stone for intuition. It's a very powerful stone for intuition. Anyone who does work with, say, mediumship or anything like that can really benefit from this stone, but it is so powerful that it can be somewhat ungrounding, especially if you're working with it intentionally in that regard. So if you're looking to get more connection when you're reading tarot cards or working with your spirit guides and helpers, sapphire is powerful, but definitely use some grounding stones with it. And for example, today I'm going to put that in front of our hematite. But yeah, this helps open that connection a little bit more, helps bring the information through. And adding to that blue kyanite, which is a stone that can help us to better understand the guidance that's coming through. So it's one thing to hear it, it's another thing to like actually be able to make sense of it, and we can't always. This is a stone that can help us to do that. So that's blue kyanite. This is also linked with a lot of neurological care. This is thought to be helpful for folks who are healing from a stroke or any kind of brain injury, particularly if it's impacting speech or mobility. It's also helpful for anyone who is struggling with accepting themselves exactly as they are. So for that, I often link this with like the LGBTQIA community. It's pride in who you fundamentally are, exactly as you happen to be without any, except or and, but, all that kind of stuff. That can be a really helpful thing around the holidays as folks spend time around family, which isn't always easy. And oftentimes there can be some, toxic nudges here and there. This can be a really great stone to remind you that you are absolutely divine and lovable exactly as you are. Let's do... So we'll put that with the sapphire, helping us to better understand what's coming through. And we've got Herkimer. Herkimer diamond helps us to get a little bit more of a spiritual grounding for what we're manifesting. So if we're asking the universe for, our laundry list of things that we need to move forward, this helps call that in, but with this slight shift into, I want it to be as spiritually grounded, and I want it to be of highest benefit to everyone that what I'm asking for touches, and that everyone involved in what I'm asking for, that this work for them too. It's a much more community-minded way of manifesting. Helps you connect with the best people that you'll be working with as well. This is also one that helps with relaxation and being in the present moment. I mean, let's face it, we could always use being in the present moment, especially if you're here in the US with me. It's like a really hard thing to keep mind of, even for those of us who work from home like me. And it also helps to balance energies, especially energies that are just a little bit out of sync, as well as it's thought to be helpful for metabolism too. So let's go ahead and bring that in here. And then Ametrine. Ametrine is, and this only has a little bit of amethyst in it, but it's still a good specimen. So ametrine is citrine and amethyst together. Now they form next to each other in the ground. In fact, citrine used to be amethyst, and over years of extra heat and extra pressure, it slowly turned into citrine. Citrine is a stone that brings about financial abundance, resource abundance, helps to balance logic and intuition. Amethyst helps us to own the things that we are responsible for and not take over where others are supposed to be responsible, leaving them to their own. It's a good type of boundaries. It's also great for helping yourself with self-improvement while being a little less judgmental with yourself. And these two kind of balance all of that. So it's a really powerful and beautiful stone. This has a little bit of amethyst in it, but it is still a little bit of both. So for now, we will leave that here. So that's ametrine. Did I get? Oh, and Aqua Aura is one that we've all been using quite a bit for depression and seasonal affective disorder. It is clear quartz crystal that has been put through a process with gold. And formerly I did say, oh, it's titanium. No, I've done some more research. It's gold. And it has this bluish kind of color. It's hard to find information on this stone because it is something that's man-altered. So it's not like there's a lot of older books that talk about this. And a lot of folks don't like to work with altered stones, which is completely understandable too. But I have found this to be really helpful for things like depression. I struggle with that, as I always say with this, whether it's for something physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, karmic, whatever it might be. Stones, crystals, Reiki, all of this is an incredibly powerful complement to anything else that you're doing. I'm not a med shamer. I take the meds that help me most, and that includes antidepressants, and this still helps on top of that. So I hope that this is helpful for anyone who's struggling with that too. And this is definitely a place where you are warmly supported wherever you are on your journey too. And thank you so much for those requests, Chris. Glad that you are here. Oh, and rutilated quartz. I didn't even see that. And rutilated quartz is a really good one for right now. So many people are sick. This is one that helps us to get that physical, vital energy flowing, and it is thought to help give us the energy we need to keep from getting run down, and also give us the energy we need when we're bouncing back from being under the weather, from being ill, or from being just a little bit overexerted physically. It also helps balance the mind and body, and is thought to direct any kind of healing specifically to cancer, if that's what someone's going through. And we do know we're sending lots of love to Corocar's stepdad. So we will bring this in, and thank you. Okay. We've also got heart healing, love, and wealth. Absolutely. Literary agent, buyers, Kundalini awakening. Gotcha. So definitely support for Corocar and Vincent, as well as Cora's mom. Definitely. So we've got Corocar's stepdad, Corocar's mom, and for wealth, I know Corocar's mom is looking for some resource abundance. So let's bring in some citrine. The stone of financial abundance. It helps us attract some money, and can be really helpful in that regard too. When we think about citrine, this can be a stone that, again, if you locate the money corner of a room, that would be put the entryway door to your back, and then from there locate the back left corner. That's a great place for any kind of work that you're doing to manifest finances. And that's where I would place something like a citrine. And as I said before, it helps with financial abundance and with balancing logic and intuition. They work best together. There we go. And for financial abundance, I'm also going to bring in some pyrite. It's something I've kind of committed it to memory as fool's gold brings the real gold. It's one that helps. This is actually very protective too. It's thought to help the body during Reiki, as it helps to optimize the flow of energy and helps to break up blockages. It's also one that's deeply linked with intuition, clarity of intuition, and bringing in that flow of energy. It's also linked with lungs, brain, and memory if you're struggling with any of those, especially also thought to be helpful for fever. So lungs and fever, I think that's a lot of folks right now, but also helpful for manifesting finances. So let's go ahead and bring this around. Let's do... Yeah, we'll put that in with the intuition, because this also has a link to intuition. There we go. Fantastic. Okay. And let's see. Corocar has been requesting lately white and red coral. White coral helps us with, when we're on our spiritual path, to be free from distractions and focus just on what we know we need to do to move forward and go into exactly what we know our spiritual purpose is. Red coral is thought to be highly protective of women, particularly in instances where misogyny is an issue, where women are relegated or downgraded or treated as lesser than for any reason. Can be very protective and helpful in things like a workplace, like a toxic workplace for women. So we will bring those both in, even though Corocar is not with us today. I feel like that can be really helpful. And thank you for bringing that up. I'm glad you were. And Vincent too, a sense of worth, I believe it was. Definitely Amazonite is helpful. And standing up for oneself. we'll bring in some Dumortierite, which helps with standing up for ourselves. This is one I think we've all been working with, and it's definitely a potent energy for right now too, especially around the holidays and family and running around and workplace stuff. Dumortierite is great for anything having to do with pent-up anger and standing up for yourself. This helps us to look at things like anger as like, okay, this is uncomfortable because I want something to change. And rather than forcing it down until it becomes explosive, it motivates us to say like, wait a minute, this needs to change. I'm going to assert something. It's also helpful for patience, which, I mean, it's never a bad time for that, but especially with the holidays, a lot of folks traveling, you can always use patience. And healing with ligaments and tendons, which I know is helpful for grace. So I'm going to bring this in. Let's do 2 pieces. We'll put them here. So that's Dumortierite. Also thought to help tidiness. And heart healing, love and wealth. Definitely heart healing. Let's bring in rhodonite. That's what keeps coming to mind. Rhodonite, as we've worked with it quite a bit, it's just beautiful for all the ways that it helps. Not only is it helpful for the lungs, which a lot of people are struggling with right now, this is helpful for overcoming loss of love as well. So anything from unrequited love, like you love someone, they don't love you back, or healing your heart after a breakup. This can help with that. Even with grief, like with literally losing someone to, them passing on. This can be really helpful with repairing the heart, helping you to eventually feel like you want to move forward and try another relationship. It's also helpful for those who have survived any kind of belittling or even emotional abuse. It can help to heal the heart so that you can feel a little bit more safe to trust again. And I hope that helps, Grace. I'm glad that you're here. We've also got... Okay, so answered the question about the writers group. Sleep straight through the night, wake, refresh, and heal your back. Absolutely. Amazonite can help with your back, but to sleep through the night, I love that. Something that I struggle with off and on is sleep, quality of sleep, ability to sleep at all. Luckily, I've been okay with that recently, but just in case. So let's see. We'll bring in some amethyst. Stones that are fantastic for aiding with sleep. As I mentioned, iolite for sure, but also labradorite and amethyst. So amethyst we talked about when we talked about ametrine, but something that it can help us with is letting go of those things that we have in our mind before we go to sleep, and allowing ourselves to kind of let go of what we're working on and just focus on ourselves for a moment. So this can be very helpful with sleep. Labradorite can be helpful with sleep, especially if you feel like it's intuitive stuff keeping you up, or you're having bonkers dreams and you're not staying asleep, that kind of thing. So these are crystals that I very much associate with good quality sleep. This is another labradorite there. So let's see. Let's put that there. And we'll take our amethyst and actually put it under the iolite. Fantastic. And awesome. Diminish reactivity and irritability. Gotcha. So let's definitely diminish reactivity and irritability. Irritability, definitely Dumortierite, and he'll also bring in Howlite. This can help anger, resentment, frustration. So let me just grab a couple of those. It also is thought to be helpful for anything having to do with the teeth, the bones, and the hair, particularly the bones. So if you're struggling with anything from bone density to calcium absorption, things like that, this can be an excellent help. It's also thought to help with studying and stability, as well as like focus on what you're studying and retaining the information. Another one for studying is Labradorite, as well as Tiger Eye. But this is good for anger and frustration, big time. Anger and resentment and frustration. So let's go ahead and bring this in. And for kind of like a mood boost, let's do that. Another one for like reactivity, focusing on the here and now, is Herkimer. Definitely helpful with that. But I also want to see this is lepidolite. So lepidolite can look a lot of different ways. It's lithium mica, and sometimes it looks like a solid purple. Sometimes it looks like regular mica, except instead of being gold, it's a little bit more purpley. And sometimes we get just like these little flecks of the lithium mica, these little glitter pieces. I thought that was going to be a sneeze, and there it was, a yawn. These specimens also have some amazonite in them, so again, with focus on self-care, taking care of yourself. But lithium mica, just like we're like, wow, lithium, that sounds familiar. Yeah, it's actually used in mental health, but it's also on the periodic table. It's a really incredible thing. But it helps to soothe and calm and understand the emotions on a spiritual level too. And it helps to bring attention to thought patterns that need releasing. So it helps you to calm and soothe and then see what that reactivity might be coming from so that you can find a better way of dealing with it, hopefully. And it also helps with discerning whether to stay or go. So if you're looking for any kind of insight there, we're going to go ahead and bring this in. This is one that definitely, yes, it's used in mental health as a prescription medication too. But that doesn't mean like go out, grab yourself some lepidolite and drop it in water and drink it. I don't recommend that. It definitely does have a powerful and potent effect on the mood, and it's not well tolerated by everyone physically. So don't DIY the meds with it. But as a spiritual healer and the energy of it, definitely having it around your body, in your home, maybe in your crystal grid at home, or in this kind of a case during a Reiki session, it can be really helpful for anybody. So I hope you join us again soon, and I hope that this is helpful for you. And let's see. Mental focus and family connections, as well as inner peace and focus. Gotcha. I love it. Okay, so let's do definitely focus. Focus, we have a couple. The first stone I would have reached for is rutilated quartz, but I'll also grab Let's see. Yeah, let's do some Tiger Eye. There we go. Tiger Eye can help with focus. It's also very protective, and it helps with when we're focusing on things to be able to see the patterns within it. So not just focusing on getting things done, but focusing on making progress and making something out of that data that's in front of you. So this can be really helpful for focus, as well as whether it's studying, balancing, seeing patterns. Whoop. There we go. And family connections. So let's see. Carnelian can be great for family connections. Carnelian helps relationships of all kinds, really. It really works with the sacral chakra, which is just beneath the navel. And this can be, it's often thought of as like the chakra of sexuality and sensuality, and that is part of it. But also on a deeper level, it's how we relate to society and people and relationships and family and community around us. It helps us to see the role that we play in connection to others, and it helps others see the same. So this can be a great stone to have for whether it's a work team or a colleague team or a friendship team or a band or a family or roommates, whatever you might have. This can be a great stone to help with collaborating, working together, and sharing space and time together. This is also really helpful with things like fertility, as well as any kind of, like I said, sex and sexuality, but also finding one's twin flame, if that's your intention. But yeah, this is a great stone for families, and especially around the holiday season. I absolutely love working with carnelian. Yeah, so there we go with carnelian. It's also good with colds and allergies, and I know a lot of folks are not so much colds, more flus, but there's definitely folks with colds and things too. Hey JS, I hope you're doing well too. New home, new job, courage to deal with practical stuff. You got it. I'll put that out here too. And communicating clearly for what you want. I like that. Let's see. Inner peace too, and joy. The joy stone, yellow calcite. This is joy of who you fundamentally are. So blue kyanite can really help with appreciating yourself exactly as you are. This helps us with finding the joy in who we are and how things are. So I'm going to bring this in. We work with this stone a lot because it brings in such happy energy. We've also got financial abundance. We've got that covered. Ooh, I like that you're manifesting specifically like peaceful beachfront home, possibly abroad. I love it. And energy and focus. Energy and focus. We covered focus. Energy is definitely the rutilated quartz. For manifesting homes and things too. So definitely for both Vic and JL, I'm going to go ahead with tourmalinated quartz. And that's clear quartz that has black tourmaline running through it. So this helps to do a number of things. It's it's a very multi-purpose stone, just like carnelian and rutilated quartz are. This is thought to break up scar tissue, whether it's internal and physical, or if it's mental, emotional, or if it's spiritual. It can help to break up the things that hold us back. So it's often linked with cardiac health for that, any kind of blockages, but it's also great for protection and finding new jobs, but also opportunities to earn. So whether it's gigs, whatever it might be, passive income, what have you, this can be very helpful. It's also very protective during travel, which, abroad would be a thing. It's helpful with healing any kind of nervous energy, with grounding and releasing energy that no longer serves, and healing emotional trauma too. So let's go ahead and bring this in. We've got Garnet for courage to do the things you need to do, but also for getting things done in the most organized way possible and being practical. So a very Capricorn stone, and it's a January birthstone. This is not only that courage, but also creativity of going about things a new way, getting things done the best and most optimized way that you can find to do it, and also strength in times of change. It can be a really strong root chakra stone. Help you get the things done that need to get done. We've also got communicating clearly. Emotional stability is definitely lepidolite. Self-love and self-care is absolutely amazonite. We've got figuring out what you want. Adding yourself to a wait list to become a Kung Fu nun. I love it. Figuring out what you want. I'm going to think about that for a minute. Hey, Bethany. Any crystals to help animals get along? Yeah. You are also manifesting a home abroad. Twinsies. Nice, JS and Vic. You guys can combine some research there. Let's see. Figuring out what you want and helping animals get along. Absolutely. Black obsidian helps nervous pets and is highly protective, especially it's highly protective and helps with working through trauma, whether that's grief trauma or trauma of like a very shocking traumatic event. But this is great for nervous animals, particularly nervous dogs. Chrysocolla? Sure, I'll bring in chrysocolla, absolutely. So yeah, we'll bring this in. So that is black obsidian, and another stone for animals. Everything having to do with animals. This is leopard skin jasper. This can help with coordination and balance in humans, and for anything, whether it's an animal or a human, anything that's impacting the skin. Whether it's a parasite, whether it's a fungus, whether it's an anything, this can help. But it's also helpful for even attracting like a soulmate or a spiritual partnership, but particularly healing animals, connecting with animals, and connecting with our animal guides. And it's very sacred to shamanic cultures for connecting with animal guides. So this can be very helpful with animals as well. Joint healing, yeah, howlite here helps with joints. So let's see, let's do leopard skin jasper. For chrysocolla, and all the good luck with your kitty. Let's see, we've also got, for chrysocolla, that's one that goes along very well with white coral, and that helps with making choices in alignment with our spiritual highest good. It's encouragement for following your spiritual path. and also helps with new matters, new ways of being creative. So a lot of times when you've got a lot of that, like you're focusing on your spiritual path, being creative can help you experience a new ways of connecting to that. So this is very helpful for finding your spiritual way forward and like making decisions that support that way forward. You're very, very welcome. And yeah, chrysocolla, joint healing. Let's bring in a little more chrysocolla, because why not? Yeah, let's do... There we go. And hey, Vincent, we thought about you and Cora Carr. So we've already factored you a little in, but if you've got any requests, go ahead. We are going to do that thing that I do where I think of a couple crystals that could be helpful for us, and you all vote and see which would be the most helpful for the grid, and you decide, and then we slide right into the healing where I turn the music up, turn the lights down, and send Reiki to you whenever and wherever you happen to be. So chat amongst yourselves, and I'm going to pick out a few crystals that kind of help support all of our healing. So let's see. Okay, so before we get into the ones we're voting on, I realized I forgot that Susan had requested some support with calling in some customers, and yeah, I'm going to do the same. I'm going to go with that. So here is some Cinnabar. This is always thought to have been the merchant stone to call in customers and help keep a business flourishing. It is mercury, so be careful. Definitely do not put this in water and drink it. I'm not a big fan of direct water infusions. This is definitely a bad idea with this one. But I'm going to bring that in support of Susan's request to have more customers, and I'm going to put that in the same for me. And now the ones that we're voting on. One is Orange Sunstone. This helps because so many of us are like moving forward and like looking for support in that way. This one helps us to expand our vision of who we can be and what we can be and what we can do and what our options and opportunities are. This one helps us like dream big. So we have this one. Ooh, Yule camping with friends. Oh, that sounds amazing. That sounds amazing. The other stone that I have for us as to vote on is polychrome jasper, which helps us to get lots of energy and puts a spring in our step when it comes to stepping into our future, doing the work we need to do in alignment with our future. It's a very energizing stone rather than like, the chrysocolla helps us with making decisions in alignment with our spiritual purpose. This one helps us to do the work. It's like it's a less focused than garnet, but it's more energizing. So I think that'll be in support of a lot of us. So polychrome jasper or orange sunstone. And for those of you who might be new, you are not limited to just one vote. Hint, hint. I'm going to quickly explain what Reiki is, and then we will slide into the healing. Oh, and while you are voting, feel free to go ahead and click that like button if you don't mind. And yeah, just let me know which of the two you would love. So as I mentioned at the top of the hour, my name is Danielle Stimpson. I'm the owner of Learn Reiki Philadelphia. If you'd like to learn more about my live, online, small size Reiki certification classes, all of the information is in the description below. You can also find information about sessions and readings with me, one-on-one over a distance. You can also learn about my crystal shop, social media, Discord, and all that other good stuff. So I teach Usui Reiki, and that particular style or method of Reiki was created in the early 1920s in Japan by Mikao Usui. And the very foundational concept of just what the energy is comes from the indigenous faith of Japan, which is Shintoism, in which everything has a soul and everything is interconnected. Within those interconnections and all of these different people, and not just people, places, things, but stuff, the thing you're sitting on, everything has soul energy. All of these things are interconnected. And within this interconnectedness, there are additional forces that support the greater good of all. One of them being Reiki, or spiritually guided soul energy. And it's thought that everyone and everything has access to this energy, that our body, mind, and spirit work with it all the time to bring ourselves into the most optimal balance, helping us to let go of what no longer serves, helping us to heal and optimize and grow. And in this particular way of providing energy healing, this Usui Reiki, essentially what I'm doing is connecting to that energy and directing more of it to you, which supports your body, mind, and spirit to do even more in alignment with your greatest good. You may feel it physically in your body. You may feel some emotions beginning to shift or come up. You may get some glimpses from your inner dialogue, sort of like your mental side coming to some clarity and your subconscious speaking to you. You may get some messages and clarity in the form of divine guidance and wisdom. You may simply just feel really relaxed and take a nice nap. Whatever happens to come up for you sounds great. At the end of the 25-minute session, you'll hear my voice welcoming you to come back, take a deep breath, come on back to the chat, which will be reopened. You can ask any questions. You can share any experiences you feel that you want to share. And from there, we'll have a beautiful rest of our day. During the session, you don't need to do anything. You can just support your comfort in whatever way you can, be as physically comfortable as possible. Lie down, sit up, close your eyes, whatever feels right. And you can also combine this time with something else that feels meaningful, whether that's journaling or stretching or doing some yoga, playing some music, creating some art, whatever it might be. This is your time for you to simply enjoy and take care of yourself. If you want to learn more about the music playing in the background, you can learn about our musical creator. She's linked in the description below. You can check out her YouTube channel. You can also check out more about her on her website. You can also purchase some of her music to listen to on your own. And as far as the lights, they will move gently and slowly from one color to the next, but at no point will they flash or strobe. Thank you so much for being here with me today. It's an honor and a pleasure to share this healing with all of you. And I am here at least 5 times a week live. So if you go ahead and subscribe with your notifications on, you won't miss an opportunity to join me. So thank you so much for being here. Also, if you are watching this in the future, hello from the past. Just as this Reiki energy flows through everyone and everything, which means it doesn't matter where you are in terms of location to me, miles or kilometers, it also doesn't matter when you are. So no matter when you happen to be watching this, you can always feel the energy coming through. And for those of you who are here live, know that if ever you're like, I really could use some community Reiki, but I'm not live at that moment, go ahead and stream one of the past episodes and just enjoy the energy. It's always available for you wherever and whenever you need it. So thanks again for being here, and let's go ahead and get into the healing. So let's see what won that vote. Ooh, here we go. It's both. Yeah. Both? It's never both. It's always both. It's always both. Because we've got more room in the boat. So let's go ahead here. Korakar and Vincent, we thought of you when we were putting together the grid. We put in some of the stones you've been requesting. So let's go ahead and put some sunstone in. Yeah, I'll put in some sunstone there. And for polychrome jasper, this is well, that might be a little bit too big. So let's do one piece there and put the rest around the edges here. Okay. You are so welcome. Thank you for all you do. We totally appreciate you, Korakar. Okay, so let's put some more polychrome jasper around here. Polychrome jasper comes in a wide variety of colors. There we go. Oh, that's nice. Lots and lots of good healing energy. So everybody go ahead, get nice and comfortable. Whatever that feels like to you, set yourself up in any way that feels cozy. And I am going to turn the music up, turn the lights down, send to you wherever you happen to be. I'll see you all in 25 minutes, and thanks again for being here. I invite you now to take a deep breath in and out. Slowly start coming back. Gently wiggle your fingers and toes. Thank you so much for being here. If you have any questions or anything to share, the chat is open. For this weekend, I wanted to host a very special live workshop for making bath soaks using Reiki and crystal energy, so that you can do some DIY Christmas gifts either for yourself or for those you care about. So I'm going to put out a poll as to when you would like to take that. And the one that's most popular, the one that folks seem to want the most, that'll be when I lead it. Okay, and it will be recorded, so you'll be able to watch it anytime you're available. But of course, I'd love for you to be live. You all are so welcome. Yeah, you'll be able to bring Christmas gifts that you want. Like I'll be able to I'll build different grids for different intentions, and I'll send the energy so we can together infuse gifts with Reiki and crystal energy. Especially if you want to bring just plain old Epsom salts or magnesium salts, as they're called in some places. We'll basically make it into a really beautiful bath soak for anyone, but you can bring anything that you like. You can bring gifts you've already purchased. You can bring bottles of water, and we can make gem essences for yourself, whatever you'd like to do. And then the video will be available for you to make them again in the future. Yeah, it's gonna be a fun time. So definitely look out for that poll so that you can put in your 2 cents as to when we have it, Saturday or Sunday. Awesome. So if anyone has any questions or anything to share, let me know. And if you have any questions, let me know. But other than that, I'm going to get ready to go ahead and bring the stream to a close. You're so welcome, Susan. I hope it's helpful. And send my regards to Greg, too. Awesome. Okay. Okay, everyone, I'm going to go ahead and go eat my dinner and get ready for what I need to do. But thank you so much for being here. Have a beautiful rest of the day. I'll be back on Friday at about 4 and 8 p.m. Eastern U.S. time. And I hope to see you again. Oh, he's still sleeping? Even better. Have a great rest of your day, and I hope to see you soon. Bye for now.